Hey there, Howie here, and I'm going to be doing a review for both the 5th and the 6th of April 2017. I didn't do a review yesterday. A couple of reasons. First, I didn't buy or sell anything, so it would have been kind of a boring review. And secondly, I was just quite busy yesterday with work-related stuff. So I didn't buy or sell anything today, but there was a little bit of movement. Let me roll in here. This GHG global something is almost completely filled. It's been filling like 25% a day for the last several days, and this one I bought at 2 cents a share like a year ago. So I've been trying to get rid of it. And basically it's just been popping back and forth between the 3.5 and the 3, and I've been able to be selling it at 3.5. So that should be hopefully filled in the next couple of days. Now, as for the active stocks, the weed stock was interesting. This is the 2-day of the Canopy Growth stock, which, if you remember earlier on in the week, I really liked it in the mid 10s, so I bought some at 10, 1020, and 1042. So 1010, 1024, 1042, and I've been on them for a few days. And the first day, not much happened. There wasn't much movement. And this second day, this was yesterday, it shot up really strong. Got all the way up to 1045, and when it was at about 1040, I was debating on pulling the trigger and just moving on from it. I would have been a, I don't know, $500-600 profit at that point with all three of them. But I decided I had to sell at 1053, I believe. That was just good till day, so I got to put that in again. I should put that in right now while I'm thinking about it. But I had to stop for 1053, and I just really still feel there's the 10-day. So I'm really confident, relatively confident, we're going to get back into this area in the 1040s and 1050s. I just need to be patient on it. So the last, this really fired up. It was pretty stagnant most of the day. It's the start of the day here, and that sort of fired up pretty good at the end of the day. The volume for the whole day wasn't that exciting, which is interesting. So the day's volume was actually fairly low relative, but you can see the 3 days prior, again, probably lower than average over the last bunch of days. There is some pressure in the weed stock because I guess there's an index fund starting out with all the weed stocks, and there's a couple other competitors that a lot of people are interested in as well, because this is the biggest one, I guess, in the world, the biggest marijuana stock, and a lot of people say it's overvalued, but I'm not sure if it is, as more and more countries get legal. Being the first one in the game and the biggest one in the game is a pretty big thing. So anyway, that's sort of the update on the weed stock. It's at 1030 now, which I would say is close to break even-ish for this, but like I said, I'm gonna be waiting hopefully to get it right in this 1050 range and get out with a few dollars of profit. The only concern I have again about this is tomorrow's Friday, and Friday evening sometimes there's more sell volume than usual, being the weekend and people liking to consolidate and sort of get out more often on the weekends, but we will see. So the LEM I'm still keen on. It's gone down a few cents. I sold off some of it at the 75 point the other day, but it has kind of dropped down. The volume was really high on the day today, but it didn't move, so that's interesting. It's the highest it's been in, I don't know, quite some time. Let's look at it on the day. It's the highest it's been for, you know, since March 13th. So that's sort of interesting. But I think that there's resistance right in where it's at right now, or sorry, support right in where it's at right now. And I'm fairly comfortable with this, letting it go for a while. Yeah, I'd like to get into that 75 cents again and sell it off. Now the one I'm not comfortable with, and I did mention this a couple days ago, was this MOX. I said I was going to move my stop loss potentially higher than 52. I didn't do that, but it's right on the bubble of hitting that stop loss, and it's going to be pretty nasty. I guess 6 cents on 50 cents. Yeah, it's going to be like a 10% loss. Not excited about it, but I don't know, looking at the chart as we got going, you know, I purchased it in here and really thought that there was some support in here, and it just doesn't seem to have been that way at all. It's just been a slow, I mean, the volume is picking up certainly the last 4 days, but it's just not going in the right direction. So again, my stop loss at 52, so I could very easily get stopped out first thing in the morning tomorrow, or maybe it could gap up first thing in the morning. I don't know, but I'm not super stoked about this one, so I'll let it run its course. Then the SJL, which I'd sold out some of it at 9 cents, right here has not revisited, and again, very low volume. You see here 4 straight days with strong volume, and then now we've had a bunch of time with low volume, so I'm okay with it at 6.5. I think if you look at it sort of over a good chunk of time, you know, back here in February, it bumped around 6.5 cents. It's been since January, late January, it's been down to 5.5 cents. So I'm fairly comfortable. You know, it was November, anytime it's been lower than say 5 cents, but I think definitely if it gets to 6, I might stop loss it at 5.5. Again, I sold about half of it at 9, bought it at 7, so if it gets down to 5.5, it'll be about a break-even trade, unfortunately, but hopefully that won't happen. And what else is there? This CJC, this I purchased at 12 cents not too long ago. It has not done much. What's the date I bought it? March 31st at 12 cents. So I have a sell at 14. So I bought it right here. And it's just sort of not really moved. It's down to 11.5 a couple times, up to 12.5 once, but hasn't moved, and the volume's been low as well. So again, this is just patience, you know. Swing trading, sometimes you're gonna hold stuff for several weeks and just sort of, you know, wait, especially with these lower volume stocks. So that's where we're at now. I expect tomorrow, depending on how weed shapes up tomorrow, will determine sort of what I do, whether I'm sitting on my hands again. If MOX hits the stop loss, that also might be something to look at. But we will see. The market was reasonable today. I think it ended up for the day. Yeah, up 0.3554 points. So you can see it was sort of volatile throughout the day. Yesterday was pretty bad. You can see just started up and then sort of tanked the remainder of the day. So it's been an interesting ride on the market. As you can see, that's the last 30 days and sort of calendar year-ish. We're up fairly well from the start of the year, so it's definitely uptrending, so hopefully that just continues. So I think that's it for my update. I wanted to actually quickly go to the alerts and see that it's kind of interesting to see. If you look at sort of, you know, I was showing you when I was doing my watch list that I add alerts sort of how as I go when I'm looking through stocks. So even if it's a stock I don't want to buy right now, I'll put an alert on it that lets me know sort of when it's at an area I might want to look at it. So what I like to see is sort of what the stock was when I set an alert. So hypothetically, had I bought it at that point, would it have been a good trade? And I'm happy to see that just in theory, the ones that have triggered so far, I'll just kind of go over them. So that triggered at 1.25. The stock is currently, so that's the current price. That's the trigger price. This one triggered at 245, 237, so that's down 8 cents. This one triggered at 135, it's 127, down 8 cents. This one triggered at 137, at 140, it's plus 11. You can see the numbers beside the, this one's plus 4 from trigger point, this one is plus 56 from trigger point, that one is minus 2.5 cents, this one is plus 11, you have plus 7, plus 2.5 cents, minus 2 cents, plus a cent, plus 3 cents, minus 2 cents, plus a cent, plus 7 cents, that's a pretty good one, plus 40 cents, plus 95 cents, plus 93 cents, plus 20 cents, plus 7 cents. This is a big minus 90 cents. But again, I wouldn't necessarily be writing that down that full percent. I'd probably have a stop loss in there somewhere. There's a break even, plus 34 cents, plus 2 cents. There's a minus 9 cents. That's a pretty big one, minus $1.16, minus $1.56. Plus a penny, plus 61 cents, plus a penny, plus 4 cents. And that's all we got so far, because these ones haven't been triggered yet. So just as a general statement, if every time one of these triggered I just instantly made a purchase, I sense that I would be up. My purchases would be overall quite in the green, which I'm happy to see. Like if you look at my ratios on here, you know, probably 7 out of 10 of these bad boys have gone up since the date that the trigger was. And some of these triggers are a little bit oldish, so maybe this one, you know, that's up 90 cents, it triggered the middle of March, so would I still be in this stock this much later? Who knows? But it's sort of an interesting thing to look at. Anyway, this has been Howie. Thank you for listening. See ya.